Olivia Colman is back in theaters with The Roses, and Akilah, you're a huge fan of the 1989 film that inspired it, The War of the Roses, so we're going to get into the new film and discuss our favorite warring couples on screen. First off, Akilah, how does this new film compare to the original?
So, The War of the Roses is one of my favorite movies, and like one I aspire to like. That tone is one that I like to recreate in what I write. It's a very dark comedy. I love a little bit of violence and blood. And so I was looking for that tone in this remake, and it's not that tone. It's really fun. Olivia Colman, I mean, incredibly funny. The jokes, a mile a minute. The supporting cast, you got Andy Samberg, Zoe Chow, really funny. I enjoyed it. I think if I was going to look for what I was looking for in the original, it's not there. But on its own, it's a very good movie.
I think my problem is with the direction of this movie, because the jokes are good. And when I see them written down, I'm laughing at them. But something about the way this movie comes across on the screen to me, it felt like an average Modern Family episode or something. It was lacking actual grit. Like the 80s movie, and it's, by the way, something about those two actors. Like Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner, something is like, do not fuck with them.
Kathleen Turner, I mean, she had like I don't even know what it was inside. It really looked like I Will Cut You.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, right. Resting violence in their eyes. And also at that point, they had been collaborators several times. They had been in Romancing the Stone and Jewel of the Nile, etc. So they had sort of an established rapport that I think audiences liked kind of fucking with back then. Here, I didn't really even believe them as a couple.
I wrote that note and I was like, maybe British chemistry is different than American chemistry. I felt that.
Like they had similar types of one-liners, so I could see on the page why they would kind of be into each other, but Benedict Cumberbatch and Olivia Colman it didn't feel like there was enough X Factor magic there, and I feel like you need that to believe the kind of carnage they get into in the movie.
Neither one of them seemed that capable of violence.
No.
Olivia Colman's delightful.
Yeah, right. She was scarier
that sweet face, come on.
She was scarier in The Lost Daughter. Did you see that movie?
Yes, I did see that movie. Yeah,
you
for
never forget her in that movie.
For sure.
Even at the beginning of the movie when she's dancing to Living on a Prayer, and it's like, this woman's about to lose it.
She's wild, yeah.
Something's not right.
Benedict also, I was like, you're a cutie pie. Stop it.
He is so cute.
You cutie pie. The two of you together, cut it out.
Yeah, can't you two go and be bookish?
Yeah.
It doesn't have the thrills of the original movie. That said, this is a good way to get into our favorite warring couples, just period, fights on screen, etc. What ones came to mind for you?
So I'm gonna work my way to my favorite.
Very good.
One that came to mind was Shiv and Tom on Succession, their tailgate
some of the great
episode.
Fights. Yeah.
Excellent fights, but their kind of last big fight outside of their tailgate party, where they were like, I think they called it "We're gonna clear the air." And like they cut each other down, and it was like years of stuff. It was like, you're a bad person who'll be a terrible mom. Your dad didn't love you when you're broken. I'm just like, oh my God.
Tom on that show is the weirdest combination of pathetic, and yet also frightening.
And in the end, wins.
Yes.
And so the tables turn because like he definitely lashed on to Shiv because she had the power and the legacy and the name. And at the end of it, she lashed on to him because he was like the last one holding the power and the money and the name. And so to me, it felt like they ended the show where those two, like she's pregnant, I believe, and they are together. And I felt like if they were to go on or if they were to have a movie, those two would end up in The War of the Roses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, nice observation. Also, just like, you're right, that ending they chose for Succession, it feels like it could have gone a number of different ways, was the height of tragedy.
So tragic.
They really picked the version that was the most, there's a rancor to this.
The worst possible timeline for Shiv.
Yes.
Yeah.
And God, is she unbelievably amazing.
So good.
Though I did fucking hate that Oscar Wilde thing she did on Broadway. Did you see it?
I did not.
It wasn't better than just reading Oscar Wilde.
Oh, no.
It was too, I didn't know what I was looking at. She was always on a camera, and I'm like, don't be immersive at me.
You never want that reviewed.
No.
Not as good as reading it.
No. Oscar Wilde's funny. Just make the funny jokes fun. I think my favorite marital confrontation or a couple confrontation over the past 10 years is in the movie Phantom Thread. Have you ever seen?
I have not.
Now, Phantom Thread is a well-liked movie among film buffs. It's Paul Thomas Anderson. It didn't reach the Oscars heights of, like, There Will Be Blood, for example, or even Boogie Nights. But he was nominated. Daniel Day-Lewis is nominated for Best Actor Oscar. Mysteriously, the woman who plays his paramour, Vicky Creeps, was not. But in this movie, he is this fussy 50s fashion designer, but definitely a straight man.
Okay.
His name is Reynolds Woodcock. What else would it be? And everything in his life is arranged just so. Like his sister works for him. Everybody knows their place.
I can see this character.
He's ritualistic and very chic, but runs everything. And this woman who is like not accustomed to his ways but loves him has to sort of figure out her footing in this sort of simulacrum of life he has developed.
Okay.
And she one day decides to surprise him, and you will not be surprised to learn he does not like surprises.
Okay.
She creates a little dinner, and it involves asparagus, and they're sitting there eating it, and he's mad he's there. And he's eating it, and he goes, I like it. And she goes, you don't like it, you hate it. And she goes, and then he goes, you know that if I eat asparagus, I want it with salt. I don't want it with butter. Like, just, it goes into this place of like, you're supposed to know that I hate this.
Right.
And so the fight that they have is about her not knowing what she wants from him, why she's waiting around. She goes, I feel like an idiot waiting around for you. And then he is like, has pity on her. That whole argument is so fabulous and so right. And so it speaks to a kind of narcissistic person where you're trying to get into their life, and because you want that and know you want that, you feel pathetic.
Okay.
You're trying to fit into somebody else's like utterly self-absorbed worldview.
Love that. I got to put it on my list. I love some couples fighting.
Oh God, it's an amazing
kind
movie.
of my thing.
When people don't think, when that's people's not favorite PTA movie, I don't understand.
Okay, gotcha. You know who your people are.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Litmus test.
Gary and Brooke in The Breakup. So that's Vince Vaughn and Jennifer Aniston.
Yes.
Which was like not, you're giving me a face and a hand on a hip.
No, it's a great Chicago movie. Yes, yeah.
It's interesting because it's not as wacky as like The War of the Roses is heightened. Gary and Brooke seem like people I know.
Yeah.
Having a real life like dissolution of a relationship in a way that I've seen it happen in people around me. So like they get together, they buy a condo together. He won't grow up, won't propose, won't clean up dishes. She decides to leave, but they can't leave the house because they both live in it. And to me, that's like a ripe place for conflict when people won't move out. And so, so she starts bringing guys home. He starts having strip poker parties. And then finally they have to give up the condo. But to me, I remember watching that being like, that felt real and like some things that happen in life. So they're on my list of
Jennifer Aniston is like the Yale of making even the ordinary parts of a relationship telegenic.
Yeah.
Like she can get through a really boring conversation and yet you want to be watching it.
Yeah.
There's something about her, and she was at one point supposed to be a Saturday Night Live cast member and ended up turning it down to 4 friends.
Oh.
And you realize she's just got the gift of making conversation interesting. She's exactly what we're talking about here. There's something elevated and lived in just by sheer virtue of her saying it.
Yes. There was an argument about you didn't get enough lemons for the centerpiece. And I was like, yeah, why didn't he?
Yeah. No, she is amazing indeed. Keep It is brought to you by OneSkin. Guys, I'm thinking about my skin constantly. I went to a pool party over the weekend. I say hi to everybody, and then immediately what happens, I hide in a linen closet and put on sunscreen for 1 year. And OneSkin is there for the journey. They know the stakes with this extremely white, extremely pale, chalky, but ultimately endearing skin. Known for cult favorites like OS1 Body, OS1 Face, and OS1 Eye, OneSkin stands out for their science-first approach, delivering hydration, barrier support, and powerful longevity benefits in a single step. Customers consistently rave about how their skin is smoother, firmer, and healthier looking with results that get better over time. No wonder OneSkin's products have over 10,000 5-star reviews. OneSkin is the world's first longevity company, targeting cellular aging to keep your skin and scalp looking and acting younger for longer. For a limited time, you can try OneSkin with 15% off using code KEEPIT at oneskin.co. That's 15% off oneskin.co with code KEEPIT. After you purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Try OneSkin today. Your future self will thank you. Keep It is brought to you by Armor Colostrum. We live in an age of unprecedented access to information, innovation, and opportunity, but also one of environmental and societal stressors that our biology was never designed for. From microplastics to chronic digital exposure, endocrine disruptors to industrialized food, modern life is hijacking our health at a cellular level, leading to decreased energy, brain fog, which I'm experiencing right now, and accelerated aging. Armor Colostrum is nature's original superfood packed with over 400 bioactive nutrients that restore your body's resilience from the inside out, strengthening immunity, fortifying gut health, and elevating focus so you can stay sharp, energized, and at your best in a world that demands it. We've worked out a special offer for our audience. Receive 15% off your first order. Go to tryarmra.com/keepit or enter keep it to get 15% off your first order. That's tryarmra.com/keepit. I know our viewers expect me to bring up Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. I'm not going to get into it. My producer, Kennedy, is actually glowering at me like, don't say those damn words at me. I will bring up another Mike Nichols movie. Have you ever seen the movie Carnal Knowledge?
I have not.
With Jack Nicholson. In the early 70s, after Easy Rider and after a supporting role in the Barbra Streisand musical On a Clear Day You Can See Forever, Jack Nicholson became like the definitive actor of the 70s,
Sure.
right? And he's establishing these dramatic turns that have some sensitivity in them or extra insensitivity.
Okay.
And in this movie, Carnal Knowledge, which is about him and his best friend played by Art Garfunkel, their travails in romance, he ends up with Anne Margaret, who is this sort of like cultish, emotional woman, and they get into a fight where he is basically humiliating her, and she is a wreck. And you realize in that moment that Anne Margaret can really fucking act. She was nominated for an Oscar for that movie. But just watching the two of them, there's something about every conversation in that movie that is just, I don't know how else to put it other than you want to be in it, and it's compelling, and it's randomly very dark.
Okay.
And I feel like real conversation is that way, where you think it's going one way, and then you realize you've said something that triggers somebody else.
That's how it goes.
It's a really fabulous movie.
Okay, it's on my list.
Yeah. Okay, what's next?
This one is sillier.
Please.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Brad and Angelina.
Oh, gosh. Well, also, you can't be at a real-life couple acting out some dynamic on the silver screen.
Tapping into something. What I love about it, because like nowhere in my movies is like real violence and like people like a story about abuse or whatever. These two are like CIA spies, and they're equally matched in terms of like their physical prowess. So they really have an actual shootout. Like they're spies who married each other but don't know that the other one is a spy, and then somehow they get caught onto it, so they think the other one's there to kill them, and so then they try to kill the other one first. Very silly. Not the best plot, but they're hot. They want to leave. Nobody wants to give up the house. So they shoot this house up and down, and they both survive, and in the end they get back together, which is also very sweet. So
you know what's interesting about that pairing and that movie is that you think of Angelina Jolie as a sort of classically charismatic movie star, and yet I don't think she has been in very many classically charismatic couples on screen.
Sure.
You know, so this is really the only time you get a moment of her being like the kind of va-va-voom in a sort of relationshipy way.
Which is interesting because I don't know that she was charismatic in this couple as well, which to me, I think worked for the movie because it's like they're having some marital strife and perhaps growing apart or whatever. And I'm like, oh, I see why in this movie. You know?
Yes, right.
Yeah.
And I'm so sorry that actual marriage dissolved in the most horrible way.
Oh my God.
Team Angelina, of course.
Of course.
And by the way, we need her in another great movie again. She was in Maria, and that was like, good attempt. We'll get it next time.
Okay.
You know?
What's she up to these days?
I am not
Saving
sure.
the world?
I hope. Yes. No.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's sitting at some sort of like electronic display of the globe, and she's just like pointing at various things
and
being
fixing
like,
things,
putting on the Carmen Sandiego hat and flying herself there.
Yeah.
You know. I'm going to bring up a movie that pertains to the late Robert Redford. Have you ever seen Ordinary People?
I have.
I love this movie. It's a movie about living in the suburbs, which speaks to me. And Mary Tyler Moore and Donald Sutherland, they have a son who drowns, and it's traumatizing to their other son, played by Timothy Hutton. This movie ends with Mary Tyler Moore, who is a very stony mother who has seemingly no reaction to what has happened, is sort of icing out everybody in her life, but casually and acting like she's fine. She and Donald Sutherland have a concluding argument, and she is so devastated by it, she ends up moving out of the house. What I didn't know about this fight was it was originally, in the fight, he is screaming at her.
Okay.
And what actually got into the movie is he just says it to her.
Okay.
But she has the same reactions. So she's acting like she's been screamed at, even though he is just talking to her.
That's cool.
And I think that is so suburban.
Yeah.
You're like,
For sure.
You confronted me, you said something direct, I'm devastated.
Sure. But also, like, the houses are not that far apart, so we can't really show out.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what's it. Yeah, there's a cloistered feeling.
Sure. Because the neighbors can hear this.
Yeah. And there's a drab beigeness to everything going on, even in the outfits. Though, God, do I love the heyday of beige. You know, when like every woman, like Faye Dunaway did not do a movie without wearing a beige pencil skirt.
Yep.
Everything was tawny.
And nicely tailored.
Yes. Yeah, constricting.
Yes.
All the time.
Yes.
Do you have any others you'd like to bring up?
I'm going to do like an honorable mention to Frank and Marie Barone from Everybody Loves Raymond. Again, equally matched, which is what I like for. I don't want anybody to be meaner to the other person.
Yes.
They gave, how many seasons was that on? 10, something like that?
100,000.
Yes. Every episode, they're at each other. It is old school 90s, like, you're crazy. Well, I had to be married to you. You know, that type of stuff, which I appreciated. I enjoy that.
I think you also just tapped into what we actually like about this particular, I'm going to call it a genre, which is two people who are equally matched.
You want that. I don't want to see anybody getting bullied. I want people serving it back and forth to each other.
Right. And it's like, that's what would happen in real life, right?
Yes.
Like, you would never pick somebody, or never mind, I'm projecting. I don't think you would pick somebody who wasn't like your equal, generally speaking.
A lot of people.
Yeah, I know. Right.
A lot of people would.
I just don't want to see that.
Yeah.
Anyway, those are some of our favorite confrontations in movies. Please tell us yours. I could go on and on and on. Literally, this is what I like in movies. This is what I want in movies.
I will say that the original War of the Roses has my spot.
Yeah.
The chandelier scene.
Oh my gosh.
Beautiful.
And by the way, there's a little bit of a shout out to that in this new movie, and it's just not the same.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
You know, the final shot is them like bloody and tangled up on the floor, and he reaches out to her, and she still pushes his hand away.
Yes.
This is what I want.
We could just do a whole Kathleen Turner episode. In fact, we interviewed her once on this a long, long, long time ago. Still had, and you can just hear the grit of those
Love
times.
that.
Love it, love it, love it. Ones that I haven't mentioned that we've talked about a million times, besides Who Was Afraid of Virginia Woolf, Kramer versus Kramer, Fences comes up a lot. Actually, I trust anything that was based off a play. I think this is why we do plays.
Sure.
Did you see Purpose, which just came out, the Pulitzer winner? Oh my gosh. Everybody confronting everybody, and where are they doing it? On a big dinner table.
My favorite. I love a good dinner party fight.
Yes,
It's the
August
best
Osage
setting.
County, that kind of thing. Yes.
Eat the fish.
Yes. Oh, eat the fish, bitch. When Julia is at her absolute meanest, I am soaring.
Yes.
Because she'll walk into a room and be like, I don't know about all this. Like, she's just dismissive.
Yes.
I love it.
I love that.
Keep It is brought to you by Helix. Do you know why my back just hurt a lot recently? Because I got a massage. That means the massage went wrong, right? Anyway, I went to go sleep, and then finally, I was recovered. And I'll tell you why. Helix was there for me, as it always is, every single week. Helix knows there's no better way to test out a new mattress than by sleeping on it in your own home. That's why they offer a 100-night trial and a 10 to 15-year warranty to try out your new Helix mattress. Everybody is unique, and everybody sleeps differently. That's why Helix has several different mattress models to choose from, each designed for specific sleep positions and feel preferences. So how will you know which Helix mattress works best for you and your body? Well, take the Helix Sleep Quiz and find your perfect mattress in under 2 minutes. I took this quiz seemingly decades ago at this point, and I still remain a midnight lux. You know how I sleep. I've got one leg up, like a body outline on Homicide: Life on the Street, and I sleep soundly every single night. Your personalized mattress is shipped straight to your door free of charge. Go to helixsleep.com/keepit for 25% off site-wide. That's helixsleep.com/keepit for 25% off site-wide. Make sure you enter our show name after checkout so they know we sent you. helixsleep.com/keepit. Today's episode is sponsored by strawberry.me. Let's be honest. Are you happy with your job? Like, really happy? Yeah, I'll give you a moment. The unfortunate fact is that a huge number of people can't say yes to that. Far too many of us are stuck in a job we've outgrown, or one we never wanted in the first place, but still we stick it out. And we give reasons like, what if the next move is even worse? Grim. Or, I've already put years into this place, and maybe the most common one, isn't everyone kind of miserable at work? But there's a difference between reasons for staying and excuses for not leaving. It's time to get unstuck. It's time for strawberry.me. They match you with a certified career coach who helps you go from where you are to where you actually want to be. Your coach helps you get clear on your goals, create a plan, build your confidence, and keeps you accountable along the way. So don't leave your career to chance. Take action and own your future with a professional coach in your corner. Go to strawberry.me/keepit to claim a special offer. That's strawberry.me/keepit. And we're back with my favorite segment of the episode. It's Keep It. Akilah, go off, as they say.
Okay, let me just preface this by saying that I am missing like a fangirl gene. Like I'm not a part of a fandom. I'm not in the Beehive or a Hottie or a bar or anything. I went to University of Texas and University of Michigan, so big football schools, not a sports person. And then along comes Nicolandria from Love Island, which I'm embarrassed because I think I'm too old to watch this show. I watch this show because I see their kiss go viral. I'm like, who are they? And I am on the ride.
Wow.
I'm in it. I'm embarrassed. I'm in a group chat with mutuals
Yeah.
with some comedy writers where you just like keep up with their news. And so I just say that to say that like my keep it is hating on Nick and Andrea because they're just a cute little hot couple and everybody is mad at them. I mean, clearly they're very popular, so not everybody, but there's a hate train coming at them every day. She's dark-skinned, they're interracial, he's too hot for her. They wish their other fan won. She just walked in her first fashion week. She's 5'3". She walked for Sergio Hudson. People are like, how did she get that? People are sending hate to them daily. And I'm like, they just bring people so much joy.
Did you actually end up watching the show?
I sure did.
Okay, good.
I watched
Yes.
the entire thing. I watched it from their kiss, which is in episode 21, all the way to the end of the show, then started over from the beginning to see what I had missed.
Wow. It feels like you were even maybe just thinking about them during this episode and like waiting to get to this.
I don't know what they've done to me, but what I'll say, because I had to talk to myself, like, what's happening with you? Because this is not a way that I interact with them. I've bought things that they pitched on Instagram. I might have worn some pants to work the other day. I'm in it, and I'm embarrassed by it, but I had to talk to myself, and I just said, these times are terrible. There's so much darkness going on. Who doesn't want to root for a young couple to fall in love and make a lot of money? And so people, my keep it is like, don't shit on them. Just let them enjoy being in love and following their dreams, and let people enjoy them.
Do you think they will have a follow-up series?
I think probably. I don't know if that'll be good for them, but I think that none of those guys in that, like those social media, I don't think they can resist it. There was a spinoff, or I guess a follow-up series from the season 6 show, which is called Beyond the Villa, which I also watched, and all the guys, I thought it was going to be a fun show, and all of them talked about how sad their lives have become since they become social media influencers. It was a very dark show that I didn't think they had all moved to LA for the summer and are staying in apartments, and everybody's sad. And so I was like, maybe we don't need that from them.
That too much reality.
Yeah.
Well, it's giving that Jennifer Coolidge speech. Be like, don't think it's all going to be a primrose path from here.
But also call it that. Like if you branded it like the Charlie Sheen documentary, I knew what I was getting into. This, I thought, I was like, oh, look at these young people having fun in LA. Not the case.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So that's my keep it.
It does feel like they've changed you for good.
Yes. I let them bring you joy, and if they don't, hush your mouth.
Well, okay. I mean, like, that. First of all, I also want to say I went to a football school and didn't go to a single football game. So we both are on the same level.
I think I've been to 3 in my life, yeah.
Oh, my God. Also, Michigan and Texas.
Michigan and Texas. And I'm from Texas, so I went to like a big football high school as well.
Oh, my God. Well, congrats for surviving, I guess.
Yes.
My keep it this week is to the fact that Robert Redford, movie legend, has passed away, and I can't just walk into the street and talk to everybody about it because no one knows about him anymore. I just want to say, like, he is this rare case of somebody who is, in a way, the quintessential matinee idol.
Yes.
And he had the weird idea that men could be blonde. And we said, you're right.
It's working.
Yes. He appeared on the scene. He was immediately in a few movies with Jane Fonda. His first movie is a cameo in a movie she made called Tall Story, where Anthony Perkins is a basketball player. Come on, Queen. And then eventually he made some movies with Natalie Wood. He was in This Property is Condemned and Inside Daisy Clover. Before he really exploded as a star in the movie Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, which that year, Easy Rider, which I just brought up, also came out. That was a sort of a rebellious movie that felt like gritty. This was the more mainstream version of that movie. And I feel like people really connected with the fact that he was this new fresh-faced star who had as much charisma and power as Paul Newman, the established star in that movie. And from then on, Robert Redford refused to be bored making a movie. He's like, it's going to be interesting. I'm going to play people who are deeper or more self-absorbed or have more contemplative things going on than you expect from me. And when you look at his filmography, it's so impressive. He really was part of what made the 70s the most experimental and fabulous time in films. I think his best movie is All the President's Men, which I think we all saw in journalism class or whatever, 8th grade, wherever they make you see it. And by the way, I was just talking about this. Man, did we make brown seem so awesome. Just wear a brown tie, brown pants, and go to work.
Sure.
A whole era devoted to just neutrals and taupes. I love it. Otherwise, though, he, of course, was founded Sundance. He wanted movies to be good.
Yeah.
He was never satisfied with just the status quo. Even if he was in movies I did not like Out of Africa, and I think that is Meryl's worst nomination too.
Oh.
He is just an instrumental part of film history. an intellectual person who I think brought the best out of actors when he was a director. He directed Ordinary People, and he directed one of my favorite performances of all time, which is in a way the ultimate Robert Redford performance, even though he did not give it. Ralph Fiennes in Quiz Show. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
I saw it.
Yes. In the movie, he plays this son of a poet, but an academic himself, who becomes a game show contestant. And he's a cheater on the game show. He becomes a television star who is this returning champion who keeps winning and keeps winning, but he's been given the answers. And yet he is this also intellectual, really smart guy. So you're seeing on his face the turmoil of being somebody who considered himself a smart member of the intelligentsia, being a complete fraud. And that is the ultimate type of Robert Redford role, where there's a conflict between the sheen of the outside with the turmoil of the inside.
Love that.
So I really recommend people go and check that out. 89 years old, couldn't have lived a fuller life. And Sundance, by the way, rules. I love when I get to go.
I also love that he died unproblematic.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
This is, you know what I mean?
Much like Paul Newman in a way.
Yes, I feel like a lot of his peers have had a turn in their later years where they've become mean and bitter and hateful. And so I'm grateful that that's not a part of his legacy.
Totally. Also, somebody who was also very sexy on screen too. I love him in The Way We Were with Barbara Streisand.
For sure.
Ooh, yes. All his movies with Jane Fonda. And by the way, I will end on that note. Jane Fonda and Robert Redford made a bunch of movies together, like Barefoot in the Park, The Electric Horseman. But later on, about, I will say 10 years ago, they made a movie called Our Souls at Night, which is a romance among these two older people. And it's just a fabulous little movie. Unpretentious, not trying to be an awards contender, really, but they are both really good in it. And Jane only got better as an actor, I think, even way later in her career, well after she won Oscars. And you can see the both of them have this earned camaraderie in the movie that, of course, goes back 50 years. So
I'll add it to my list.
Please. Akilah, it has been fabulous having you here.
I've had so much fun.
Oh, my God. Where can people find you, or look at your work, or just
my goodness,
admire what you are?
You know, I have been so boring since they took fun Twitter away.
Yeah.
And I don't post much on Instagram anymore. I'm kind of boring. So you can watch Ghost on CBS.
Please.
Every Thursday night.
With the fabulous Danielle Pennick.
That's right.
And by the way, listen to that episode of Keep It if you want crazy Beyonce stories.
She's great.
She's a fabulous person. That's our show. We will see you next week on Keep It.